Hey, welcome to another episode of Brain Dead. This is just a couple hours after the last video, assuming I upload them. And I guess I was just listening to the Tesla shareholder meeting again, and just reflecting on the company, and I just wanted to share, I guess, where my head was at on that and what I was thinking. And to me, it feels like Tesla is hitting or evolving from Tesla 1 to Tesla 2.0. This now feels like a new era in what that company is. Up until now, it's been kind of like a battle of survival and kind of resource constraint, and just scrapping by and being just resourceful and kind of proving to the world that they belong and that they're the real deal. But now I feel like we're just passing that barrier, and now going into kick motherfucking ass mode. And now this is when the machine is starting to turn on, and Tesla's just dominance is starting to be felt. And I think this is a new era of Tesla, and it's kind of just starting right now. As it kind of this last quarter that we just experienced, I feel like that was kind of the beginning of this new thing turning on. And kind of silently snuck by, and there wasn't much of the signal of it, just from the factories being shut down, and you can't really feel the presence of this thing scaling. But I mean, just looking at that shareholder meeting, he showed that Exponential is the cleanest Exponential. He made a joke about how it looks like something that would be in a venture capital share deck, or just in a presentation. But it's the reality of what their production has been. I think it was a production graph, and he celebrated that we just sold our 3 millionth car, and then later he had made some prediction that perhaps by the end of the decade they sell their 100,000th car. And so if we're just at 3% along this 100k kind of ramp, and we already see that the graph is starting to look exponential, and he had mentioned maybe Tesla ultimately will have 10 to 12 gigafactories, each producing 1.5 to 2 million cars each per year. If we're just looking at ending this year with 2 million run rate, and that kind of future vision of what Tesla could be producing around 20 million cars per year, we have a long ways to go. And now the inflection point's kind of starting to happen, and we're kind of hitting the sweet spot of this thing is growing exponential, and you can start to feel it and see it, and we can kind of see where the end is. I mean, this is just in raw vehicle production. What else does Tesla get into? But if we have another, I don't know, 10x and run rate, going from 2 million to 20 million over the next decade, what's something that produces 10x more stuff? It has to be some amount more valuable. So we're on this we're starting to hit this exponential ramp of value accrual that'll happen, and that's just purely in production. Tesla has other value adds, fully self-driving cars that will drive themselves. What is that worth? Optimus, what could that become once it in its kind of highest form? Is that just infinite economy, just being able to manufacture just each new unit of labor that we'll just never run out of things to do, because we can just always print out another little labor unit to do a new task? Are we ever going to run out of new things to apply labor to? And so it could just be this just never ending source of demand for a product that could never run out of demand, and you can make as many of them as you possibly can. And Tesla's already kind of proving out to be a manufacturing kind of mastermind, and looking he refers to their factory as a cybernetic collective, and made a joke are other OEMs viewing a factory in that light, just the higher level of abstraction that he's able to kind of visualize and kind of model his company around is what other company is going to be able to match that. Anyways, we see that we're early stages of this very grand vision, and it's now appearing to be exponential. So this is like prime time starting to kick in for this company, and I think it's going to be kind of absolutely insane from the quarters kind of now on. I mean, he says like assuming no force majeure, which I never heard that term before him, so I guess that's cool. But so I'm just taking it to mean like no more like hiccups, just like unplanned things that kind of fuck you up, which I'm sure that'll happen again. There's always gonna be like something, but assuming like the machine can just start now, keep going, like kind of using like a crawl, walk, sprint analogy, I feel like we're now starting to like, I don't know, maybe it's a walk, but I don't know, stuff's picking up, so maybe it's going into jog. I don't fucking know, but so yeah, I think we're hitting Tesla 2.0, and maybe Tesla 3.0 comes when we have Optimus, and there's like, yeah, I'm sure there's going to be further evolutions of Tesla in stages, but I think we're leaving Tesla 1 and going to Tesla 2 right now, and I'm pretty freaking stoked. Like, what crazy bonker stuff could they invent in the future? Like, it's just like a factory of like world-class engineers. Like, he was implying how like all the world's best people are coming to Tesla. Like, it's trading off between Tesla and SpaceX. And he now analogized it to like whatever sports team has all the stars, like that team is probably going to win. And just if to the degree that Tesla is just like sucking up, being a vacuum for just the smartest people in the world, like its capacity to do crazy shit should only be increasing, and it's honestly insane. One other thing that I thought of in regards to if Tesla's pricing their cars correctly, I was thinking like, oh, I definitely don't think they are. Like, obviously, if you have like a year of demand, or a year backlog of like orders that you can't like provide, then that's not what the market price would naturally be. Like, the market price should be this thing that we like, all right, I give you money and you give me the product like in that moment. Like, I buy Tesla stock and I receive the shares that second at that price, and that's what the market price is. And Tesla is not operating at that. They're operating at some price of, I don't know, being artificially low. That's like creating this super long backlog. If they started raising the price and that backlog started to shrink, and they figure out like maybe it's like $2 million right now if you wanted to buy a Tesla today and like have it in your driveway tomorrow. And yeah, I just think Tesla is leaving a lot of capital on the table, and I think to the degree that you price things wrong, it just like kind of fucks up the economy. Like, what could be so I guess this is just the strength in my argument. I was also thinking, does that also fuck up the supply chain? Like, Tesla has like mentioned multiple times they need people to get into the lithium refining business and nickel mining, and like there's some like resource constraints that they are envisioning down the road of like how fast could this thing scale. And if they're pricing stuff wrong and their revenues are not what the market would naturally dictate, then could that be just downstream into their supply chain also? Like, if Tesla just starts selling the cars for more and they're just more like generate money making machine, that maybe perhaps then the suppliers start making a note of that and thinking like, hey, we're selling our thing for too little, and like Tesla shouldn't have 99% margins, like they have like 20 or something operating margins right now. But I'm just saying, like, if they sold the car at the right price, maybe their margins would be insane, and that's probably not like the most natural state of things. So then like the suppliers start raising their prices, and like knowing how important it is for Tesla, and Tesla kind of has to like go along with it, and like, okay, and now the natural price of refined lithium is higher, and nickel is higher, and he's already mentioned that it's like printing money getting in these businesses, or at least with the lithium refining. But if price doubles or triples, then it's even more so, and that should be even higher of an incentive for this thing to scale. And now that money starts funneling into these people that are supplying it, and they already have the expertise and know what to do, and they're like, hey, we can just open up another refining facility, and boom, now production is doubled from that supplier. And like, so the whole system that this is trying to be, in which Tesla is a part of, and like its supply chain is all part of that system also, should be this thing that is sucking in capital to what its economic value proposition is, and it's not doing that. It's like being understated, and so it's not able to grow at the rate that it's most naturally wanting to grow at, because I guess to the extent that capital will be the facilitator of that, because the capital is not flowing how it, I think, naturally should. But I think perceiving lower prices as good might not be actually serving the highest good of this value of advancing sustainable energy as fast as possible. I think that might be being held back by being look good by having a low price. And as you start producing things way more, and that backlog starts shrinking of people that are just tripping over each other to buy it, and now the market price starts coming down, that should be the force that prices lower in accordance to, is just no one is around looking to buy it at this price. Okay, so look at a lower one. Instead of 2 million, does someone want to buy it at 1 million? Okay, one guy does, so give it to him. And then just yeah, I know that's easier said than done, but there has to be a higher degree of matching that type of ideal than, I don't know, the pricing just doesn't seem to be aligned with what value actually is underlying the asset. But I guess that's some thinking and thoughts on Tesla. And I feel like I had something else that I'm spacing right now, but yeah, we always have to be an investor through the lens of is the price correct? And I don't know what their market cap is right now. I haven't checked it in a while, but whatever. Say it's 800 billion to $1 trillion. To the extent the optimist happens, that should even that there's no price that is overpriced, because you can just have unlimited economy just printed out, and then fully self-driving could be its own kind of version of that too, but a slightly less extent. But I guess I personally think that this thing is on the verge of maybe 5 to 10 years out, but we're just having unfathomable amount of income and earning potential, and so DCF that to whatever price is today, yeah, it's a good buy, assuming that happens, and this thing can truly compound. To the extent we're investors, we should be. And I got this from Howard Marks's podcast, which is really good, called The Memo. And in a recent episode, he was talking with his son, or him and his son was being interviewed, and they had mentioned how the goal should be trying to find compounders. And yeah, you always want your investment to compound, but you want that to just be compounding due to some interest rate in a bank. Here's some percentage rate that they'll grow at. I mean, then the interest is in dollar terms or whatever, and then you're kind of at the whim of okay, well, it's inflating more than that, or whatever. And do you want some kind of ledger to be the thing compounding, or the thing that you own is able to grow on the new things it does? You can build on top of the building. Now that Tesla has 12 of these factories, and now you can leverage that to make a whole nother swath of shit that changes the world. And yeah, you can envision this thing compounding forever. It's crazy. I also think the same largely of Ethereum as being this massive kind of sneaky compounder that could happen. I guess that could be for a different video, but I don't know. I think Tesla is probably the highest investment opportunity that's ever existed, and that's currently available right now. Okay, let me give. This is companies and assets that I really like right now. Tesla, Coinbase, Ethereum, Bitcoin. Probably Tesla, Ethereum, Bitcoin, base, Bitcoin in that order. I guess Bitcoin people are gonna be mad at me, but that's how I see it. Anyways, I'll end it there, and yeah, maybe I'll share some more thoughts soon. Okay, bye. Do subscribe and like and comment and stuff. Peace.